tops, but no one ever seems to want to listen.
Well, hello you wonderful mother truckers, and welcome to another walk and welcome to another video. As I walk under a very dark shade. I do apologise, and the wind's still blowing because although it's nice and warm today here in the UK, shouldn't be wearing this coat too much. We're due heavy showers, potentially thunderstorms later on. This weird weather get any weirder. Any case, so we're in a cost of living crisis, and I think it's something that we can all agree on is not good. And let's squish the rich or making money out of this, and then that's all right. With all the money that we haven't got, where we can't afford tax cuts, we can't afford this, we can't afford that, yet somehow we can afford to send billions to a war, which is a proxy war, which is never going to be won. It's a meat grinder, and we started it. And I know that's a very unpopular point of view, but it's the truth. Yeah, we in NATO started this, us in the West, as an opportunity to have a go. And if you honestly don't think that there aren't any UK forces in the Ukraine at the moment, I think you're sorely mistaken. Apologies for the wind again. Where we have definitely got special forces there, and the missiles that we sent, they can only be used by trained crews. So yeah, we're in the Ukraine. In any case, we can send billions there, and it's just been announced that another 1.65 billion can be spent on a green agenda thing again, where our government gives more money to a rich company that doesn't need it, that charges us more for energy, and going green thus destroys our economy. And we all know now that green energy, or you should know that green energy is actually going to destroy our economy, not make it better. Now, we live in a world in our country where we were that convinced that green energy was going to be the be all and end all of life, we just destroyed all our coal power generating stations. Perhaps we should have waited. And we keep getting pummeled about net zero and gotta go green and you gotta have electric cars, whose sole purpose is not to save the planet, is to price us off the road. And if you don't think that, just think logically. How much does a new electric car cost? On average, £40,000. Okay, you buy that, that's a lot of money. But the problem is, in 5 years' time, your battery's going to go flat. It's going to need to be replaced. So now you have a 30, so we'll say 40 grand car, and the battery goes flat, and it costs you 6 grand to replace the battery that you can't afford. And then you can't sell your car because it's not got a battery and no one wants it, so you don't get a car because you can't afford one anymore. And there you go, that's what electric cars are for. Nothing to do with saving the planet, which is all a myth anyway, but we'll get to that. So yeah, so the green economy ruins everything. It's just going to destroy us even more. And let's be honest, we are a tiny, I mean, just have a look at us on a map. Oh, the wind's picking up. Just have a look at us on a map, yeah? And then you tell me how us going completely green saves the planet. So have a think about that for a minute. Exactly. Now, while we're destroying all our stuff that works and used to provide good power, yeah, China and India are currently building more coal-powered fire stations. Fire stations, power stations. Excuse me, coal-fire-powered stations. Of course, sometimes English defeats even me. So they're tripling and quadrupling their energy production, while we are just throwing ours down the toilet pan. Now, just to give you sort of a sum up, we have a lot of wind generators here which destroy local wildlife, which it does, yeah, and when the wind isn't blowing they don't generate power, and then we have to import that gas that costs us a fortune, thus not saving us any money whatsoever. It makes our gas more expensive. I mean, here in Birmingham, we used to have these two great, well, three actually, I think it was three, maybe two, but definitely two, maybe three, huge gas monitors down at Saltley Aston Way, and they used to fill up with gas, and then when we needed it, it used to go down. Yeah, so we had a gas reserve. Don't have them anymore. Yeah, we don't have gas reserves anymore. It's gone. We rely on everything from a pipeline that costs us a lot of money. And this obsession with going green, it's all great. What happens if all this green power, we have a few days where it's cloudy and the wind doesn't blow, we don't generate any power, and then all this wonderful infrastructure that we rely so much and massively on power doesn't work anymore. We're in trouble because we haven't got a backup like this GoPro. Yeah, it'll work for an hour on the internal battery, which is why I've got a Volta that gives me 3 more hours backup power. So us relying on green energy isn't going to help. It costs jobs. Yeah, it doesn't give us anything. All it does do is allow our government to pour money off to big businesses who get richer off us. You know, those energy companies that are making a massive killing every year, where, you know, I think it was EDF just got £1.65 billion. Now here in the UK we've decided that we need to go nuclear. Okay, because it's green. Well, yeah, it doesn't produce any immediate emissions, but when they finish, you can't go anywhere near them for hundreds of years. And if there's a problem with one, if a coal-fired power station blows up, it's a bit inconvenient, get a little bit of pollution, that's it. Nuclear power station blows up, kind of fucks everybody over. So I still have a bit of a reserve when it comes to nuclear power being the best green option. But we're going there. We're not building it ourselves though. You know, we're giving it to the French and the Chinese and the Germans. In fact, we don't build anything ourselves. It's all owned by foreign powers, because there's not going to be a problem with that either, is there? But the thing is, climate change is a lie. It's an absolute blatant lie and fraud, because all I ever see from it is an increase in our tax burden and the fact that we need to live in less lights in the cold, nothing else. The fact that there's plenty of scientific evidence to prove that the planet needs carbon dioxide, not it being reduced. If you go too far in reducing carbon dioxide, everything dies. Plants, trees, they're all dead. And the fact that carbon dioxide in production naturally accompanies for 97%. And remember that carbon dioxide isn't the most prominent gas in the atmosphere. It really isn't. And no one scientifically has been able to prove that me breathing out is doing any damage to the environment. The reason carbon dioxide levels go up is because it gets warmer. It's got nothing to do with it warming anything. But of course, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I shall wait for the interesting things in the comment section below, which you should use. Never delete a comment, so feel free to use it. But the simple truth of the matter is, we aren't to blame. It's just getting warmer, and there's scientific evidence to back that up 1,000 times over. Humans do not produce the carbon dioxide that has been increased. The planet has, in response to it getting warmer. But But we'll ignore that because we can't make any money out of the truth. Now, can we? And you see, that's what you've got to realise. The climate emergency, which doesn't exist, is being created. Now, if you really believe that the politicians are telling the truth, oh, the sea levels are going to rise, well, do an experiment. You know, you fill a cup up with water, put some ice cubes in, fill it up with water to the top, and when the ice cubes melt, does the water overflow? No, it doesn't, because it's all about volume. So it's bullshit. And if they truly believe that, why are they all buying up shoreside properties? Just out of curiosity. They're not worried because they know it's a lie. All they're doing is getting richer off us and forcing us to do things that actually impact our lives, impact our freedoms, impact our employment processes, means that we live in a colder environment. I mean, like here in the UK, they want us to all have heat pumps because they're better for the environment. Except here in the UK, the weather isn't conducive to heat pumps working very well. I mean, I've got a heat pump tumble dryer, yeah, and it actually says there, if the temperature drops below 5 degrees centigrade, the heat pump won't work. Here in the winter, the temperature can get down to, like we're having a mild winter, and we've had a mild winter this year in the UK, you can't fault that, but we have. And the temperature's been frequently below 2 or 3 degrees, which means the heat pump won't work. British Gas won't install heat pumps because they don't think they'll work. The whole idea of a heat pump, make us feel colder. That's what they're there for. They tell us that everything is made, make it so it's really, really expensive. Remember that gas prices now, wholesale gas prices, are back where they were in 2016. Seen your gas bill go down? No, the whole idea is to make us back into medieval serfdom, where we don't have power, we don't have heating, and of course the biggest bit of carbon they want to get rid of us is you and me. So if the cold winter can kill a few of us off, that's all good and well. You see, if there was a true climate emergency, if there was a real threat to the planet, do you think all the rich and elite would sit by and do nothing other than tax us? You watch how quickly things would change. Just like now with the rise of the Islamist threat here in the UK, all of a sudden politicians want extra protection. Yeah, because as soon as it starts to affect them, then stuff gets done. So again, I'll ask you the question, is there really a climate emergency? Because all the rich don't seem to be bothered by it. They need to wake up and realise we're being lied to. Just another form of control, just another form of oppression to keep us all put down. Yeah, don't think what you think people are saying is all, it's like now we've got a mild winter in the UK, it's just climate change. It's not. It's called a cycle. Yeah, and thank God we've had a mild winter. Because a lot of us, I mean, when it was cold and it was like 3 or 4 degrees, which is cold, it's warmer in the fridge. Yeah, we couldn't have our heating on. Running around in big fucking woolly jumpers and blankets, and we're not that bad off. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, midges. Yeah, because we're petrified of the cost of heating in the house. Yeah, my mom, you know, who's in her late 80s, was scared to death of putting the heating on. Meanwhile, they're handing £1.65 billion from a government funds to another company that's already made billions of pounds of profit. Being lied to, we're being scammed. We pay more taxes. I mean, it's like now here in the UK, we are now paying more taxes than we did just before the beginning of World War II. Even though we've had a tax cut on national insurance, it's not a tax cut. All these so-called things, it's not. Because what happens is, first you have to hit over a threshold to pay national insurance, and if you're on universal credit, for instance, you do that, you get their fries, which we'll get, yeah? And my wife can earn a little bit more because she ain't going to pay so much national insurance, and all that happens is we get it taken off us in other ways. So it's going to save you a load of money. My water bill has gone up massively because I have to pay to have fresh water delivered to my house because council tax has gone up. So that little tiny thing of 2%, Mr. Chancellor, that you gave us, how very kind of you, you arsehole. Well look, White Lives Matter stickers. Someone will get arrested for that. It's already been eaten up just in council tax increase and water crate increase, let alone my gas and my electric and everything else. The internet's going to go up, everything's going to go up, and that's what it's all about. Climate change is a scam. It's done to rip us off. It's done to make sure that we live in poverty while they all get richer and smile and sneer at us like they did with the budget, and then argue like little children over nothing. Any case, walk's almost done. I'm finished with that subject, so that's that video done. You know what to do, the usual: like, share and subscribe if you wouldn't mind, and thank you to those who have. And with that, and as always, I shall look forward to, well, yeah, it's done. Till the next one.
Another time, another place, another space.